Hey, it's Dave from Ghetto Van Adventures. We're going to do an oil change today. Pretty simple. Just take your time. If you don't know or you're not sure and you feel a little cautious about stuff, get a friend. And there's always somebody you know that's done an oil change. This will give you a start on it. But like I say, if you're unsure, get a friend to give you a hand on your first one so you can learn. You can save a lot of money and choose the stuff you want to use in your car, quality parts. You need an oil catch pan, oil filter wrench, sometimes, I'll show you. You need a wrench or socket ratchet to take out the oil drain pan plug. And you need motor oil and a filter. Now, I'm not affiliated with them or anything else, like the Napa Gold filters. Never had any problem with them. You might like different filters, it's all up to you. I like Napa Gold, they have a good reputation. I also like Shell Rotella T6. Now this is a diesel engine oil, but I've used it in my vehicles for years. Has lots of good qualities. You can read up online, I'm not going to go into it here, but you can read up online about Rotella T6. I use 540 in my 05 Caravan with a 3.8. Anyway, let's get started. Well, we've jacked up the car, blocked the wheels, jacked up the car. I got a support stand underneath it. Always use a support stand when lifting up the car. Now you can use ramps if you want. There's a set of ramps over there. Come on over here for a second. That's a set of ramps. You can drive your car up on a set of ramps. You can pick those up at your local parts store or whatever. Whatever makes you feel comfortable. Okay, now we're gonna get under the car a little bit and take a look. You think you can climb under?
Give it a try.
Okay. So you take this off. There. Okay. Now, you want to pull that camera back or you're gonna get it covered in oil. So, center it back, put your drain pan under it. Okay. Take out your drain pan plug. Now you're gonna get a little oily. You might want to have a little rag or two around with you. Okay. There you go. That's it. Now maybe move back a little bit so they get a location on where that is. Yeah, let that drain for a little while. There's the drain pan plug right there. Check the gasket on it. There's a gasket. Looks good. We'll wipe it down. And you see, there's the oil pan right there. And it's draining out. Okay? Now, right there is the filter. Can you see that, everybody? That's the filter unit itself. So to take that off, you snap on your little oil filter wrench. I tighten it up and you just turn it off. Okay? Now there's lots of different types of wrenches. There's ones that are band, they're a little wider, they go around. There's ones that are claw, they fit like that. Once it's off, you can move it by hand. But you'll want to put the catch tray under it because it's going to drip oil. There you go. Now, I'll just do this right quick because I don't care about oil. Now, oil is cancer causing. There. Now, you see right on the end there? There's a rubber gasket right here. Can everybody see that? That rubber gasket has to come off because if you look up there, that's a smooth machine surface. So we'll let that drain out for a little while. And we're back again. There's our new oil filter. Here's the new gasket that's on the new oil filter. Reason I wanted you to make sure that that gasket comes off of the old one is if it sticks onto the housing and then you screw on the new oil filter, two gaskets will blow oil everywhere. It may not be immediately, you could be miles down the road and all of a sudden spewing oil everywhere because there's a lot of pressure in there. So always make sure when you take off the old oil filter, gasket's still on it. If not, reach up, take it off. Now since this oil filter sits upwards, I'm going to pre-fill this one. Pretty simple. Take a little motor oil and just pour it in it. Don't fill it right up, but you want to pour it in. And I'm spilling oil all over the place, but I don't care. It's the ghetto van. Okay. So we got a good hunk of oil right down in there. Let it sit and absorb for a second. I can keep topping it up, but I'm not going to. Now, make sure there's a film of oil around that gasket. Always. Film of fresh oil around that gasket. There, ready to go. And that, you see that right there? That's called cheap undercoating. Okay, let's get under the car. Okay, we're back under the car. Now, all I'm going to do is screw this up into the housing. You see there's a threaded, it's almost like a bolt that comes out of there. Okay, and you see that there? Just take it. Screw it on. And since I slobbered oil all over it, it's a little slippy. There we go. Now, I might want to mention right now, now from snug you're supposed to turn a quarter turn. There you go, that's about a quarter turn. A little wipe down, get the excess oil off it. There you go. Now you see, look back at the drain pan hole, it's still dripping a little bit of oil, but that's fine, that's okay. If you want to wait longer, you can, but I don't. That's good enough. Got the majority of the oil out of there, and I changed my oil enough. Now, put the drain pan plug back in, just screws in. Now I wiped that off really good, made sure it was nice and clean. Okay. Now, tighten that up. Now, you don't have to tighten this thing like super tight, but it has to be tight so it's not going to come out. So give it a little push. Now, not hard, because if you do, you will strip the threads out of it. There, that's nice and tight. If you have any questions, get somebody who's done this, get them to show you how to tighten it. It doesn't hurt to ask somebody. Anyway, that's all we're doing for underneath. The filter's on and tight. Drain pan plug is in and tight. Let's pull out the oil and then fill up the engine. Okay, here's your engine oil filter. Now, a lot of the times you'll see on this, it says 530. You can use 530, you use whatever you want. I like 540. I like a synthetic motor oil, adds more protection, and it doesn't cost that much more. Well, I'm going to use my makeshift funnel. This is a different type of oil that I use. It just cut the bottom out, but it works. Now hopefully I won't spill all over my engine, and I didn't. And you top it up, and I'll show you what you look for in a second. Now, in your book, you can look online, you can find out how much oil your car uses, like needs, but check what engine you have, everything else. Look in your owner's manual, will tell you. Call up your dealer and ask them. Now make sure that's with an oil filter also, because the oil filter will consume some oil. It'll absorb it as you run. Now, what you want to do is pull out your dipstick here. Dipstick is usually marked in yellow. Look in your owner's manual again, or ask a friend. Find your dipstick, pull it out, put a wipe down, in again, and out. Not even showing up. So, need a little bit more oil.
What would happen if you overfilled your oil?
Well, overfilling is as bad as having not enough oil. What happens is the oil starts slapping the crankshaft. I'm not going to get into details, but it just starts smacking engine parts, and it puts a drag and a strain on the engine. So you want to keep your oil within a fill line. I'll show you the fill line right now. Okay. Now, can you get right in close to that? You see there's a minimum right there and the maximum right there, and there's these little hash marks in between. you want the oil to sit on the high end of the hash marks, okay? You don't want it to go above it, and never let it go below first. Okay, it was just down a little bit, so I'm going to add a bit more oil. Bit more oil. Pull out this funnel and put on the cap, and I'm going to start up the car for a second because I know that it's likely right in the hash marks. Actually, for the sake of this video, I will show you. There, in the hash marks. Okay? Right at the high end of the hash marks. So, shut it down and I'll show you with it running. Hey, it's been a minute. I'm gonna check the oil just to make sure it's okay. I'll get a little wipe down first. And it's right on the top of the hash mark, so it's perfect. Make sure it's tight. While you're under here, if you want, top up your washer fluid, take a look at your brake fluid, your power steering fluid, you know, take a look at your belt, you know, any little thing. There's lots of people that can help you do stuff, and it doesn't hurt to ask. Lots of car people like to share their knowledge. So if you have a question, even go online and post, hey, I want to change my oil, can somebody help me? Learn how to do it. You'll save yourself a lot of money and you'll have some fun doing it too. And if you have kids, get them involved. Hope this helps, saves you a couple bucks and lets you enjoy your vehicle a little bit more. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, maybe subscribe to the channel. Hope you have a good day. Take care.